Todd Coulter here with One with Wellness. And also, I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Encore Bank, for all your business needs. That would be loans, checking accounts. I actually just opened a checking account with them, and the process was very, very easy. So, Encore Bank, everyone. And here with Todd. Again, welcome back to KUHS.
Thank you. It's always fun to come see you in the radio station, and some of the podcasts that I get to witness are amazing.
Yeah, Todd gets to see the backstage of things. Also, we also have his Sarah Gym chairs here if you want to come join and partake in a complimentary massage on his FDA approved
Yes.
table and his amazing massage chair that honestly I use every day. Everyone said I did a thirst trap here with a recording on a video, but I thought it was just, I don't know, I was just enjoying a massage. So why not? Nobody wants to come and get a complimentary massage. Everyone, come get a complimentary massage. Sarah Gym is amazing. I will say that. I've tried many other massage tables, even the ones at the mall or the $1,000 ones at, let's call it, furniture stores. These don't compare. I will say that. But anywho, this is not going to turn into an ad of Sarah Gym right now. Todd's here, and Todd was telling me a little bit about his story now that he comes and hangs out with me every Wednesday. And we were talking about how he got into entrepreneurship, as most of us, right, kind of get into entrepreneurship randomly. Life just kind of shakes us up a little bit. And we're going to take it back to a little bit about radical responsibility and accountability and how just things work out in the end. Todd, take it from there. Tell us how and what brought you to your business, One in Wellness.
Mine is kind of an interesting story. So I actually was in the telecom industry prior to the health and wellness industry. I got let go from that job a month before 9/11 happened in 2001. I was kind of a lost puppy for quite a while, and I did get another job, but I wasn't happy with it. And when I found out about Sarah, I had some degenerative issues going on with my health.
Okay.
When I found out about Sarah from my father, he's like, you got to go try this. It might help with your pain relief. It might help with your situation. So I went 4 times the first week. I went 4 times the second week. And 3 out of the 4 issues I had went away.
Okay. Which were the issues, if you don't mind? If you don't
So
mind us asking.
at the time, I store my stress in my neck and shoulders. But that was probably from being in the computer and telecom industry for 20 years.
Yeah.
In front of a computer and on the keyboard and traveling like a madman during the 1990s. So I had a frozen neck when I first found out about Sarah. I also had knots in my shoulder that were about half the size of your hand.
Wow.
I also had been afflicted with chronic ulcerative colitis when I was 26. I was 39 when I found out about Sarah. The other issue is I had sciatica because the new job that I had gotten, I was driving 800 miles a week for this job, calling on people for appointments, and all that driving caused my sciatica to flare up. Well, after 3 weeks using the Sarah, my neck pain went away, my shoulder knots went away, my colitis symptoms went away. Now, it took 5 weeks before the sciatica pain went away. But in 5 weeks, I went from degenerative health back to better health. And I'm like, whoa. And that started my journey because we opened a Sarah location in Colorado Springs. I became an entrepreneur. I got rid of that. I fired my boss and became an entrepreneur. I was telling you a little earlier off camera that I was immediately successful helping people with their health and wellness in Colorado Springs. And of course, that has grown. Now I help people across the country. Sarah is in 80 countries, 80 countries around the world. They're in Mexico, they're in Canada, they're in the United States, they're in, and I could name a bunch of countries, and even the people that had the distributorship in Ukraine, when that war-torn country let people leave, they came to the United States. Their daughter lived up in Golden.
Okay.
And they came down to my location and said, wow, this is great. And we might open a new location for Russian and Ukrainian speaking individuals in Colorado. They haven't done it yet, but who knows? That might be on the agenda for the future for them.
Okay. Well, with that, let's take a quick break. Then we'll come back and kind of wrap it up in the sense of where are you at now? Because you said you were immediately successful, but that's not always the case. And I want to wrap up in the sense of I find after interviewing so many entrepreneurs and business owners that the ones that are, I want to say, fulfilled and have enjoyment in their lives is they actually have found a need, kind of like you, where there was a need before the business and the idea of the business came to fix that need, not only for you, but then for others as well. We'll be right back.
Ever feel like banks are just a maze of confusion and fees? Encore Bank is like having a VIP pass to banking bliss. It's all about that smooth, no hassle vibe, like ordering your favorite coffee and having it ready before you even think about it. With Encore, it's all about personal service, like having a financial guru in your pocket. Totally transformed my banking game. Check it out and feel the difference.
Welcome back, everyone. And again, Todd Coulter here with One with Wellness, talking about how he immediately was successful after he started his journey. And I want to say, in the sense of what you're saying, when you started your business, right, you didn't want to start a business. It just fell into your hand from the universe, let's call it. Life kind of brought you the circumstances. Your dad said, hey, go try this out.
Right.
And you fell in love with it, and you decided to be a part of that, right? It wasn't even like, oh, I'm going to start a business. It's, I have to share this with the world.
Exactly. And what I had happened to me, I wanted to share with the rest of the world. And Sarajim actually started that way too. They're a South Korean company. They started the business in South Korea, but it almost immediately grew to the surrounding area. And then in 2002, they came to the United States. I became a Sarajim distributor in 2004.
Okay.
And then, of course, you talked about ebbs and flows.
Mm-hmm.
There was a setback in 2008 because of the financial crisis. People were not ordering the Sarajims like they were prior. And then COVID. So I've had two setbacks in One with Wellness, being a distributor, the premier distributor of Sarajim in the United States. But it's so fascinating how many people I get to meet, because everybody has degenerative health by the time they're 40. And I was 39 and I had some massive degenerative health. I had been diagnosed with colitis when I was 26 and had to deal with the flare-ups for 13 years before I found out about Sarajim. When Sarajim became an FDA-cleared Class 2 medical device, I figured it out. Stress caused my colitis. In fact, Dr. Andrew Weil says that almost every digestive disorder is based on how you handle your stress. Do you internalize it? Do you have the digestive issues from all that stress just kind of affecting your gut and your bowels?
That makes sense. Also, right, some people I've seen, it's like, oh, the cost, but do we really want to put a cost on our health? Right? Sometimes we don't wait, or we get diagnosed and then you're now popping pills. And sometimes it's as easy as finding something to help you release the stress. And I'm not saying Sarajim is the only place, right? As Baltasar has interviewed, right? There's
Yes.
chiropractics, there's Eastern
Fitness.
medicine, fitness.
Yes.
There's so many ways that you can put the care into your health. So Sarajim's just another tool that you could have at home, right? Or in your office.
Right.
And it's just another benefit. Is there really a cost to your health? And
What I tell people is that Sarajim will save you money in healthcare costs over the next 20 years. And how is that possible? Well, guys, you have a deductible when you have to have surgeries. I didn't have to have resection of my bowel, so that saved me money.
Put it in dollar terms so they can't. I think
Yes.
I'm a numbers person, right? You're saying savings, deductible.
So here's what I tell people. Over the next 20 years, I'm going to save you $25,000 in healthcare costs.
At least.
At least, right? That's kind of like minimal because healthcare is getting so expensive. When you do have a surgery, when you do have issues going on with all the cost of the medications, all the cost of the care, physical therapy, all that kind of stuff. In fact, we are FDA cleared as a Class 2 medical device for pain relief, stress reduction, and an increase in circulation. Do you know how much it costs for those opioid type medications?
Well, I was going to bring it back to radical responsibility, right? In the sense of sometimes we wait for the last minute and we go to the doctor and we get prescribed opioids because we don't want to take responsibility for our health, for our stress. We don't want to look at the triggers, right? So then now we're just popping pills to alleviate the symptoms, yet we never truly take care of the problem. So if your health is that important to you, sometimes an investment is needed, right? In a trainer, in better food, in stress relieving activities, vacations, whatever you want to call it, a Sarah gym, for whatever, right?
Yes.
But that brings it back to being responsible for yourself and your health, not just saying, oh, I'm going to go to the doctor now, I feel sick, I'm going to start, they're going to prescribe me the pill, right, of the weight loss, of the stress relief, of the depression, right? We want to, as a society, pop pills to fix our problems.
It doesn't work. And here's what I'm going to kind of mention. My new tagline for my One with Wellness company is the future of healthcare. That's because the future of healthcare is self-care. Saragem allows you to do self-care on a regular and routine basis in your home or your business. If you invest, you will actually see the big returns because you get to avoid the medication costs, you get to avoid certain surgery costs. Accidents do happen.
Right.
But you can't plan for those. You can actually take care of your health and wellness every day by incorporating Saragem, fitness, also nutrition. All those things make you responsible for your own health.
Correct.
And that's important.
100%. And with that, everybody, thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Todd, for joining me.
Absolutely. You're
Won't be
welcome.
the last one. I'm trying to convince him to start his own show here about wellness, and we'll see where that gets us.
Thank you, America.
But remember, everyone, everything's on you. Just kidding. Not everything's on you. But what's in your control is on you. And with Todd right now, your health is on your responsibility. And I want to say, let's try and stop popping pills and be responsible, right? Let's get up and take that walk. Go breathe some fresh air. Exercise. Eat better. Take care of yourself. Sometimes we think self-care is getting your nails done, looking pretty, which is part of it, but there is so many layers to that, which maybe Todd in the future will talk about. Thank you again, everyone. Éxitos sin fronteras, success without borders here, and Todd Culture with One with Wellness.
Thank you.